as well. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
I call Porter Williams.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm not a member of the Primary Production Select Committee, but I do have a passing interest, I guess, in matters of quality and quality systems. So it's in that regard that I'm going to make my contribution this evening. This bill, I think, is very interesting because not only does it look to improve the system that the recommendations came out of the inquiry with regards to the Fonterra botulism scare, but it's actually attempting to align 3 particular acts with regards to their food safety system to ensure that we actually come out with something, hopefully, come out with something that will better protect human health, will ensure our reputation for good food safety qualities, and that we are a supplier of safe and suitable food, both here in New Zealand and overseas. And with regards to that botulism scare, which did precipitate the inquiry, the government inquiry, from which the recommendations have fed into the development of this particular piece of legislation. It's an important thing to note that within the explanatory note on this bill, it talks a lot about reputation. And we are a country, of course, that is heavily reliant on our ability to produce safe food in good quantities to the world markets in particular. And our reputation is everything. And we know that when there have been periods when there have been scares, such as what precipitated this particular piece of legislation, that it does sit in the minds of consumers overseas, their ability to continue to trust us as producers to produce good, safe, quality food. And we only have to look to other countries who are kind of snapping at our heels in terms of wanting to take those markets from us. So our reputation across the globe has to be everything in that regard. And with regards to reputation, I mean, there's no doubt that one of the most difficult periods occurred for us with regards to the scare around contaminated milk powder, particularly the powder that children in China, the milk formula in China, where we saw distressing stories of how children were getting really sick and worse. Now, you cannot come back easily from a dent in your reputation like that. And we know that with regards to feeding the most vulnerable, like our children, I mean, we have a situation just up in Havelock North where our water supply has been contaminated, and we are very scared for not only our children but our elderly people with regards to them being able to, be well in terms of being able to consume the water up there. So I really feel for the community up there. How many? There's 3,000, I think, is the latest. So we're very concerned for their well-being, particularly our elderly and our children. So I can understand how easy it is for a country's reputation to be damaged. But there are mechanisms in place, this bill seeks to align the three bills, the Animal Products Act, the Food Act and the Wine Act, to ensure that we've got some consistency over our food safety process. But it also gives us an opportunity to examine some of the quality systems that are within that. So there are 4 key features of this particular bill. The requirement for the risk-based plans to be supplied to the regulator and for the submission for review of the relevant verification agencies. And what that means is that producers need to be developing plans, and those agencies that will review those plans need to be verified by the regulator. And that's great. That's standard quality process, I guess, across whatever industry you are in. So it's good that we are taking a best practice approach, I guess, to quality intervention in this particular regard. It also has the requirement for traceability to ensure that when problems do happen, you can safely
I'm sorry
recall.
to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. This debate is interrupted and I shall resume the chair at 7:30.